talk to my people that are traveling down dark roads right now, that feel like you don't know which way to go, that feel like I just don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I'm at my wit's end. It seems like nothing is working for me. Let me ask you a question. Do you have the spirit of truth? Do you have the spirit of truth? Is the spirit of truth living on the inside of you? Because if the spirit of truth is living on the inside of you, then there is a promise right there that he will lead you and guide you into all truth, which means full capacity of truth, nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing denied. Full capacity of truth. And then it says he will also show you things to come. So do you possess the spirit of truth, or are you constantly sitting there allowing the negativity to be in your ear? Are you sitting there pessimistic more than you are optimistic? Are you flip-flopping? Because if you are flip-flopping, then that's going to cause you to be in denial, or it's going to withhold back from you what the spirit of truth is wanting to do. So do you possess the spirit of truth? Because if you possess the spirit of truth, then you should, one, be led into all truth, which means that you're going to know what it is that needs to be done. Then it says that he's going to show you things to come. So you're not going to be living your life trying to figure out what the next move is. You are going to know what the next move. You're going to know, because it's going to lead you and guide you into all truth, and it's going to show you things to come. In the things to come, let me throw this in as a sidebar for you. In showing you things to come, he'll show you when your enemy is trying to come. You know that? When you possess the spirit of truth, he'll show you when your enemy is trying to come. He'll show you, oh, they finna try to lie on you. Oh, they finna do this. He'll show you, even if he have to show you like he showed me in dreams. I'll see people in my dreams, and that is his way of communicating to me to let me know that something is about to come. So not only will he show you good things that are to come, but he will show you bad things that are set to try to come to destroy you, things that are set to try to knock you off course. So my question to you again is do you have the spirit of truth? Because if you possess the spirit of truth, then the spirit of truth is going to lead and guide you into all truth. We know in part, but the spirit of truth knows everything. It has the ability to show you everything. It can let you know what a joker next to you is thinking, and they hadn't even opened their mouth. It will lead and guide you into all truth. When it talks about into all truth, what that means is you're going to know the revelations of God. You're going to know the deep things of God. You're going to know God in the dimensions as to which he flows in, because there's more than one dimension to God. There is a God of the land, then there is a God of the shallow water, but then there is also a God of the deep water, and then there is a God of the air, the God of the sky, the God of the heaven. So God has many dimensions to him, and he says the more that you come in or possess the spirit of truth, he is going to lead and guide you into all truth. So you're not going to stay, Father, I need you to help me because I'm about to cut up in here. Let's chill out for a minute. Hey, listen, he will lead you in and guide you into all truth. So what it's saying is you started on the land. You started on the land. That was you trying to find your way into God, but you accepted God inside of you. You called for the spirit of truth on land, which means flesh. You called for the spirit of truth to come inside of you. And when you call for the spirit of truth to come inside of you, you're now going to be guided into all truth, which means you're going to experience God at all those dimensions. You're going, God help me. I wish I had some people praying. God, you're going to experience or encounter God at all of those levels, all of those dimensions. You're going to go, but you're going to constantly be coming more and more into truth, because there's going to be more of you shedding. There's going to be more of you that comes off. I am nowhere near the person that I once was, the person person that I first started out, the person on dry land. I am nowhere near that chick right now because I've gone into other dimensions. People say, you even look different. I'm supposed to. I'm in a whole nother dimension now. So he's going to lead you, and he continues to lead me, and he continues to guide me into all truth, because I started with only a little knowledge of who God was. When you come to the altar, you don't know everything that there is to know. God help me, please. You don't know everything that there is. You don't know everything that there is to know about God when you come in on land. There are so many dimensions to him to make it to heaven, to the kingdom. You don't know everything. And so he has to lead you, and he has to guide you in to all truth. So you have to progress. You have to grow. So that is what he's saying right here. He says, I will. So I'm trying to tell you that you don't have to always think that you're going to be stuck where you are, because God will lead you and guide you into all truth. You don't have to worry about the fact of, well, I don't know this. He's going to lead you. All you have to do is be available. That's all you have to do. Possess the spirit of truth. When you possess the spirit of truth, truth will carry you where it needs to take you. Father, I thank you for the ride. Ow! I felt Michael Jackson there. You know, I hear, ow! Father, I thank you for the ride. I thank you. That's number 3. Let me give y'all this next one. I told you I'm not going to try to stay before you long. I showed you the first one. I showed you where God will bring about, he'll come inside of you. That was Revelation 3:20. And he'll build a relationship with you. He says, I will, behold, I stand at the door and knock, and if any man open the door, if he hears my voice, then I will. He says he hears my voice and opens the door. That's the prerequisite. Hearing his voice and opening the door. He says, then I will come into him. He's going to occupy the space and sup with him, which means he's going to build a relationship. So I showed you that God will, he will bring salvation to you, and he will build a relationship with you. He said it in his word. Second thing that I showed you is that God will use you. And I used Matthew 4:19 to show you that God will use you. He says, if you follow me, I will make you fishers of men. There's the word I will again. Make you fishers of men. I'm going to teach you skill. I'm going to endow you with wisdom of how you are to do things. If you will follow me, the prerequisite in that is to follow him. So everything is contingent or hinged upon something that we have to do. So I need to rattle y'all's cage. I need to rattle you super religious people that think that God is going to do everything. I got to rattle your cage for a minute. I got to shake you. I'm sorry. I got to bust your bubble. I'm sorry. I may even have to put a damper on your little spirit tonight because you feel as though God is going to do everything. That's what you've been taught. And that's why you're not doing nothing, because you're sitting there thinking God is going to do everything. But no, everything, every promise is hinged upon something that we must do. Every promise has a prerequisite to it. So there is something that we must do. There's something we have to do. All right, next one I showed you is where we just came out of John 16:13, where the Lord will lead and guide. I showed you how God will guide. Now, the next one that I want to show you is in Matthew chapter 8. Let me get here. Matthew chapter 8. Matthew chapter 8. Matthew chapter 8. I love this one here. I love this one. I think out of all the ones that I've showed, and I'm only going to show y'all these 4 tonight. I'm only going to show y'all these 4. I may show you some more later, but I'm only going to show you these 4 tonight for you to rest on. I'm going to give you this. This is your nightcap. This is my favorite of all the I wills. This is my favorite. Okay. Let's start at verse 1 just to get context. verse 1, Matthew 8, verse 1. It says, when he was come down from the mountain, a great multitude followed him. Yeah, they knew who to go after, didn't they? It says, and behold, there came a leper and worshiped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. This is what the leper asked him. He said, Lord, would you please make me clean? Anybody ever been like that leper? Because I know I have. Lord, if you would, please do something with me. Lord, please, if you will. I remember when I first began to have, start having my relationship with God. I said to him, I said, man, if you real, how I'm going to know you real is there's going to be two things you're going to do that's going to prove to me that you are real. If you can get this cussing, and if you can get this marijuana, oh, you real, because I ain't seen nothing I get them up for. So you got to be real. So this leper said, listen, man, listen. He said, Lord, if you will, can you just please make me clean? If you will. If you will. Have you ever just had a conversation with him and you bawling and crying and you, man, please, Lord. Lord, would you please help me, God? God, would you please help me? Would you please get me out of this situation, out of this circumstance? God, would you please just help your girl? Would you please help me? This is this leper. Saying, hey, man, listen, I'm here with leprosy. I've been had this leprosy probably all his life. And I just need to be clean. I've heard about you. I've heard him talk about you. I've heard the story about you, man. How you were born in this manger. I heard the story all about you. And I heard about how when you was 12 years old, they couldn't find you. And how you were just waxing strong in the spirit, and just, how many great things was happening for you. I heard you were different, man. They said you didn't act like the other kids in school, that you were different. There was a wisdom about you. It was like you knew what the teacher was going to say before the teacher even said it. This is the leper talking to Jesus, man. It's just something different about you. And so, because there's something different about you, would you please make me whole? Please, would you please fix this situation? Would you please get me out of this relationship? Would you please, would you please restore my mind? Would you please restore my marriage? Would you please restore my joy? Would you please heal my body? Would you please, Lord, fix the relationship, the argument that we had, the fallout between me and my friend? Would you please fix that? Would you please fix what's going on in the church? Would you please fix it? These are the things, Lord, would you please fix it? This is my favorite one, y'all. He says, would you please make me clean? Matthew 8, verse 3 now. It says, and Jesus put forth his hand. Y'all just don't know. This one touching me deep. It says, and Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will. Jesus said, I will. The man asked him, and he came back with, I will. He came back with, I will. I wish y'all heard me tonight. I wish y'all heard me tonight. I'm just trying to tell you about a God that will. Because I know your circumstances is trying to tell you that God won't. I know your circumstances is trying to tell you that it ain't going to happen for you. I'm trying to tell you, yes, it will. I'm trying to tell you, yes, it will. This man was in a bad place. He was a leper. Lepers were not even allowed inside of the gate because they were considered unclean. So they were separated or segregated. They wasn't allowed in because it was considered nasty. Just like a woman that was on her period, she was considered nasty because there was blood coming out of her. Her body was discarding some things. So they considered her to be nasty.